Hey everyone, Sylvie here. So very glad to be back at it. And I wanted to do this video for you really quickly. This wasn't exactly a planned video, but someone brought this case to my attention and it's not getting a lot of coverage. So this video is mostly just going to be to get the case out there. And I find this to be an interesting case. And I'm having a little difficulty getting any real information about it. I'm having some difficulty getting a real read on the case. So I was hoping that making this short video might either, spark something in someone's memory or spark something in someone's mind, or at the very least, I was hoping that it might spark something within myself so that maybe if we get a dialogue going, or maybe if I just talk about the case a little bit more, maybe I'll be able to find something a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more substantial, if you will, in my feelings and my readings. So I'm just going to give you some basics at first, and then we'll get into it a little bit more. The name of the young woman who's missing is Heather Kelley. She is 35 years old. She is missing from Kalamazoo, Michigan. This is not exactly a new case. She went missing on December 10th, so about 18 days ago. She is Caucasian, 5'10", 130 pounds. She has blonde hair, brown eyes. There's some information about her tattoos. She always wears a silver heart necklace, and her vehicle has been found at this point. Okay, so that's just the gist of it. Now we'll get into it a little bit more about the circumstances that they do know about, where the vehicle was found, things of that nature. Okay, now these are just a couple of articles that I found that I thought described the situation just a little bit better. And I do apologize for the still JPEGs. Again, you guys, quite frankly, my screen capture program that I have, it's a POS. And I need to get a better one, but I have not done that yet. So please just bear with me with the still pictures. But I'm going to read just a little bit from these articles here for you, and then I'm going to show you some of the area that they're talking about on Google Maps. So just bear with me a second here, okay? All right, so this first article is from people.com, and it just gives a little bit of the information around her case. A Michigan mom of 8 who vanished 10 days ago. Now, this article was obviously written on the 20th, and it's the 28th, so it would be 18 days ago at this point, is now considered a probable victim of foul play, according to police. Heather Kelley, 35, was last seen in public on December 10th, according to Kalamazoo County Sheriff Richard Fuller, who spoke about the missing woman at a December 19th press conference. Kelley had left her home around 9 p.m. that night, then called her children at 10:20 p.m. to tell them she was heading back home. She was seen on camera outside a business in the Comstock area, but never made it home to her family, according to her missing persons poster. Kelley's abandoned truck was located on December 11th, so the day after she went missing, about 3 miles from where she'd been spotted on camera the night before. There is currently a person of interest in the case in custody on an unrelated charge, according to Fuller, who said, "We believe that person has some information that can help us locate our missing person." Now, Fuller is the Sheriff Richard Fuller of Kalamazoo County. Okay, so that's who we're referencing when we're saying who's speaking in that clip of the article right there. And then there's just this other little piece of an article that I found that gives just a little bit more information about the case. It says, Kelley's vehicle was found abandoned in Comstock Township near East Michigan Avenue and North Sprinkle Road the day after she went missing, according to Kelley's family. An employee of the Speedway gas station on River Street in Comstock told News Channel 3 they gave detectives surveillance video of a woman pumping gas. So I'll make sure that I provide all the links to these articles and to the Google Map area where I'm about to go to. But I just wanted to read those quick little clips of those articles so that you guys would know a little bit more about what happened and a little bit more about the area that the police are referring to. So I believe the quote-unquote business that the police are referring to, I believe that it is the gas station that the other article is referring to, the Speedway gas station that says that they did give video footage to a detective in regards to the case. They're not releasing that information yet, I don't believe, but I'm pretty sure that that's the gas station that they're referring to. So I did map it out here really quickly just so that you guys could kind of see where we're at. So on the right hand side here, you can see 208 River Street. If this was live, if it was screen record, and I were able to zoom in, then you would be able to see that that's a Speedway gas station right there. And of course, you can always go out and Google it yourself. And like I said, I'll provide the link so that you guys can just go straight to it. But anyway, basically, if this is the gas station where they saw the video footage of her around 10 p.m., I believe it said is the video footage. And then you can see that it's just a very short way to where they found her car, which would be marked by the red pin that I have over here on the left-hand side. So they said about 3 miles. This is only actually about 1.5 miles. But, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, I could have the wrong gas station. If anybody lives in the area or if anybody's more familiar with this and they believe that I do have the information wrong or the area wrong, please do go ahead and correct me on that in the comments. So anyway, I'm just going to show you a quick a little bit of a zoom in on the area that I'm talking about where I believe the gas station is, 208 River Street. And then I'm going to show you another zoom in over here, over in the area where they're saying that Heather's vehicle was found East Michigan Avenue and North Sprinkle Road. So that's just a close-up of that area there so that you guys can kind of see what the intersection looks like. There's a few businesses out there. It looks like there's a photography place, a Big B Coffee, some kind of construction yard maybe over to the left-hand side there. So it's, there's businesses there, but it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, really. I mean, as far as maybe a lot of people there, especially with it being later at night, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, there's a good chance that there was really nobody around that area at that point. Now, I did mention that it did say in that one article, that very first clip that I read there, that it is now considered a possible foul play, or Heather is now considered a probable victim of foul play, according to the police. And that is based essentially on finding her vehicle and some potential evidence that they found inside the vehicle that led them to believe that foul play was a strong possibility. There are a few more articles out there. They all pretty much say the same thing. There are some news reports out there. There is a press conference. I will try to find the link to that again. I had a very difficult time finding the original press conference for this case, but I will try to find that link and put it in the description for you as well. But there is a press conference. They don't really say a whole lot more than what's being released in these articles. So very, very limited information in this case. They do make reference to this person of interest, and they do say that they believe that this person may have information that would lead them to Heather. So I believe that what they actually feel with that person is that they weren't necessarily involved in Heather's disappearance, but that they may have some information that would help them figure out what happened to her or possibly where she is. Now, I'm just interested in this case in general because obviously a young mother, 35, she has 8 children. A young mother goes missing and mysteriously, of course, and it's just going to be an intriguing situation in the first place because everybody wants to know, of course, what happened. But the other reason that I find this case so interesting is that I am having a very difficult time getting a solid read on the case. And by a solid read, I mean that usually it's pretty easy for me to at least initially get some kind of feeling about the case. Like with Quentin Simon's case, unfortunately, I just knew that baby was gone. It wasn't, oh, maybe he's alive, maybe he's somewhere. I knew that baby was gone. It was a similar situation with Kelley's case. I hadn't really followed along, but I think I had mentioned before that I had heard of Kelley's case and my initial thought was, oh, that poor girl, I know she's gone. Or even Summer Wells, unfortunately, I do not feel like that little girl is alive. Now, with this case, the thing that I'm finding so strange, at least when it comes to me personally, is I am having a hard time establishing that. Sometimes I do feel like Heather is gone, that she's passed, that she's no longer with us. And I did feel like I was getting some kind of initial brief connection to someone, but I cannot be 100% certain about that. It was not very strong. And then the feeling is not solid. It's very fluctuating. So sometimes I'm feeling like, yes, I really believe that something has happened to her and that she's passed on. And then other times I feel like maybe that's not right. I start feeling like maybe that's not quite correct and that she is still alive. And obviously I absolutely hope that that is the case. But like I said, it's just, for me personally, it's strange that I can't seem to pin that down. I can't seem to get 100% definitive feeling on whether I feel like she's actually left us or not. The only other thing that I'm getting around Heather's case so far is just that I think that she may have given someone a ride. So I think that this quote-unquote person of interest might be somebody who was in the car with Heather. And I don't necessarily get a vision of it, but I get kind of a sort of a vision, sort of a feeling that she was having a struggle with a man. And it wasn't the same man though. It was a different man that I think I see her kind of struggling with a man. And I know that's all very vague and it doesn't really help a whole lot at the moment. But like I said, that's part of the reason that I'm doing this video, is because I hope that if I talk about it a little bit more, or if I get some input from some people outside of myself, that maybe it might spark something and I might be able to get something better to come through. Having said all of that, I do have some questions. Obviously there's tons of questions, but I do have some questions based on some of the things that I'm seeing and feeling initially. And I would like to ask those questions, but I don't think that I'm quite ready to reach out to the family, because some of the things I have to ask might be a little upsetting, and I don't really want to give them any kind of false hope or anything like that at this early stage of me looking into the case. But actually, this case was brought to my attention by someone in the comments on another video. So actually, if that person is listening to this video, her name is Angela. Angela, if you're listening to the video, I know that you said that your daughter was somewhat familiar with Heather, and I would really appreciate it if you or your daughter would go ahead and email me, because I know that you're not family of Heather or anything like that, but I think that you might still be able to give me the basic information that I'm looking for. So if you guys would be willing to do that, that would be great. If anyone out there listening has any information on Heather's case, please make sure that you take a look at her missing poster. Every single one of the articles that's out there has information on how to contact the police, on how to give tips, anything that you think that you might know, or maybe you've seen her, something of that nature. Please make sure that you do submit those tips. And if you have any basic comments, or if anyone from Heather's family is by chance listening to this video and you do want to reach out to me, please do feel free to do that. I'm absolutely willing to work with anyone who wants to try to come in on this case. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I don't really have a whole lot more to say on the case at the moment, but we will definitely be sticking with it and keeping an eye on it. I'll be bringing you updates whenever I can. Also, I think that this is something that I'm going to start doing, like maybe on a weekly basis. I'm going to do like a case of the week kind of a thing. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to find maybe some obscure cases and just bring them to everybody's attention, so that it's not just national cases that we're mostly covering. And plus, anybody who's been with me for a little while knows that I initially didn't want to cover national cases at all. So I had a bit of a change of a heart on that, but I do still want to do these smaller cases, because I think that it's important for people, even if my channel is small, it's important for people to become aware that there's just so many missing people and so many unresolved and unsolved deaths and things of that nature in our country. So anyway, like I said, let me go ahead and wrap this up. I will be talking to everybody again very soon. I'm actually trying to get a few videos out. I'm not sure if I'll get more than one posted tonight, but I'm trying. So hang in there, guys, okay? Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to everybody again very, very soon. Bye.